Dark history refers to the study of events and periods in history characterized by significant moral, ethical, or humanitarian failures, often involving violence, oppression, or exploitation. This concept is crucial because it allows us to examine the darker facets of human behavior and decision-making, offering insights into how societies have gravitated towards such actions and, importantly, how they can avoid repeating these mistakes. Through studying dark history, we gain a more nuanced understanding of history beyond the celebratory narratives, acknowledging the pain and suffering that have often shaped the modern world. One significant example of dark history is the transatlantic slave trade, which spanned from the 16th to the 19th century. Millions of Africans were forcibly removed from their homelands, subjected to inhumane conditions, and stripped of their rights and dignity. This era profoundly shaped racial relations and laid the groundwork for systemic inequalities that persist today. Another example is the Holocaust during World War II, where 6 million Jews, along with other targeted groups, were systematically murdered by the Nazi regime. This horrific event serves as a grim reminder of the depths of human cruelty and the catastrophic consequences of unchecked hate and authoritarianism. Many historians and scholars argue that confronting dark history is necessary for healing and reconciliation. Acknowledging and understanding past atrocities can lead to increased empathy, awareness, and a collective commitment to prevent similar occurrences in the future. However, there are challenges and controversies surrounding the study of dark history. Some argue that revisiting these painful events can open old wounds, perpetuate blame, or even be used as political tools to further divide societies. Others worry that an overemphasis on dark history can overshadow the positive achievements and resilience of affected communities. Despite these challenges, examining dark history is crucial as it connects to broader discussions about justice, human rights, and societal progress. Such studies often influence educational curricula, public policy, and international relations, ensuring that the lessons of the past inform future actions. For instance, Germany's commitment to Holocaust education and remembrance is a powerful example of how a nation can confront its dark history to promote tolerance and understanding. Ultimately, understanding dark history is not about assigning guilt to current generations, but rather about ensuring that the past informs a more just and equitable future for all. Significant events and periods in dark history refer to those moments in the past characterized by significant suffering, injustice, and moral failings on a large scale. These events often involve widespread social, political, or military actions that resulted in profound negative impacts on societies and individuals. The significance of identifying these periods lies in their power to educate, as acknowledging past wrongdoings is crucial for preventing their recurrence. They remind us of human fallibility and underscore the importance of vigilance, empathy, and reform. One pertinent example is the transatlantic slave trade, which forcibly displaced millions of Africans, subjecting them to inhumane conditions and treatment. This dark chapter left an indelible mark on history, shaping racial dynamics and inequalities that persist today. Another example is the Holocaust, a systematic genocide perpetrated by Nazi Germany that resulted in the murder of 6 million Jews, along with millions of other marginalized groups. This event exemplifies the catastrophic consequences of unchecked hatred and authoritarianism. Opinions supporting the study of these periods often highlight the educational value they provide. Understanding the circumstances and ideologies that precipitated such events can foster an awareness that helps to combat ignorance and prejudice. Furthermore, by confronting uncomfortable truths, societies can initiate conversations about restitution and reconciliation, paving the way for healing and unity. However, challenges and controversies can arise when addressing these dark chapters. There can be denial or minimization of certain events, often fueled by nationalism or ideological biases. Additionally, Debates may emerge regarding the portrayal and interpretation of these events, as different stakeholders may have divergent perspectives on the causes and consequences. For instance, discussions about reparations for slavery can provoke contentious debates about responsibility and the logistics of implementation. These significant events and periods are deeply interwoven with other aspects of dark history, such as institutionalized discrimination, colonialism, and systemic injustice. They influence present-day policies and societal attitudes by illuminating past errors that continue to echo through time. Acknowledging and learning from these periods can lead to more informed policymaking and foster global dialogues that prioritize human rights and social justice. Ultimately, reflecting on these dark periods in history compels us to strive for a more equitable and compassionate future, emphasizing the power of remembrance as a tool for transformation and progress. Key figures and influential leaders. Within the context of dark history, refers to individuals who played pivotal roles in events that have shaped history in profound, yet often troubling ways. These figures, through their actions and decisions, had significant impacts on societies and historical trajectories, leaving legacies that are often controversial and intensely debated. Their importance lies in their ability to alter the course of history, sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse, making them essential in understanding the complex narratives of the past. Take, for example, Adolf Hitler, whose leadership of Nazi Germany led to World War II and the Holocaust, resulting in an unparalleled loss of life and a lasting scar on human history. His influence was not merely destructive. It also prompted global reflection on human rights, leading to the establishment of bodies like the United Nations, aimed at preventing future atrocities. Another example is Joseph Stalin, whose rule over the Soviet Union was marked by rapid industrialization and modernization, but also by widespread terror, purges, and famine. Stalin's policies and leadership not only shaped the Soviet Union, but also had a profound impact on global geopolitics, precipitating events like the Cold War. Opinions on these figures are deeply polarized. Some view them solely as tyrants whose actions must be condemned unequivocally, while others believe it's crucial to also understand the broader historical contexts and motives that defined their leadership, albeit without justifying their actions. This debate reflects the broader challenge of assessing historical figures, the need to balance moral judgments with historical analysis. The examination of such leaders does not come without controversy. Critics argue that focusing too much on individual leaders risks oversimplifying complex historical phenomena, attributing too much power to single actors while neglecting the myriad of social, economic, and political factors that influence historical outcomes. However, supporters of this focus argue that understanding these leaders is key to dissecting the mechanisms of power and influence, thus providing insights into how similar dynamics might be avoided or mitigated in the future. The study of key figures and influential leaders in dark history connects to broader themes, such as the nature of power, the dynamics of leadership, and the consequences of totalitarian governance. These aspects provide valuable lessons for contemporary society, emphasizing the importance of vigilance, accountability, and the protection of democratic principles. By examining these figures critically, we gain a deeper understanding of the past and, hopefully, can contribute to a more informed and reflective future. The exploration of cultural and societal impacts in the context of dark history delves into how historical events, often characterized by conflict, oppression, or significant upheaval, shape and redefine the cultural and societal landscapes of the affected regions and beyond. These impacts can manifest in various ways, influencing collective memory, cultural identity, social norms, and even legislation. Understanding these impacts is crucial as it helps us comprehend how past events continue to resonate through time, influencing present and future societies. One significant example is the impact of colonialism on cultures across Africa Asia, and the Americas. The imposition of foreign rule not only disrupted existing cultural practices and societal structures, but also forced a fusion of cultures that has resulted in a complex cultural mosaic seen today. The societal hierarchies established during this period have had enduring effects, with many former colonies still grappling with issues such as racial inequality and economic disparity that stem from their colonial past. Another pertinent example is the legacy of slavery in the United States. The transatlantic slave trade and subsequent systemic racism have left an indelible mark on American society. The cultural impacts are evident in various facets of American life, from music and language to food and religion, which have been significantly influenced by African American culture. Societally, the fight for civil rights and ongoing racial justice movements highlight how historical injustices continue to shape societal dynamics and political discourse. Proponents of examining these impacts argue that acknowledging and understanding dark history is essential for healing and progress. It offers a lens through which societies can learn from past mistakes and work towards a more equitable future. However, this examination is not without its challenges. Addressing historical wrongs can be controversial, with some individuals or groups preferring to focus on narratives that portray a more favorable view of history. Conversely, there are those who fear that revisiting dark histories can reopen wounds rather than foster reconciliation. The cultural and societal impacts of dark history interconnect deeply with other aspects such as economic repercussions and political ramifications. For instance, the societal inequalities entrenched by historical events often translate into economic disparities, which can, in turn, influence political stability and policy decisions. By exploring these impacts, we gain a more comprehensive understanding of how historical events have shaped our world today, highlighting the essential role of history in informing and guiding contemporary cultural and social developments.